Growth, the process of increasing in size. A feature that is both individual, intrinsic, and throughout nature.
This is going to be so interesting, you know.
This is the moment we have been waiting for.
I'm feeling it now.
What has come before is now consigned to the history books. This new decade brings new challenges, new rivals, falling giants, and new beginnings.
Bang, bang, bang! 3 shots to the heart.
Oh,
the back end.
Oh no!
Those who are climbing will meet. Who will fall by the wayside, and who will embody growth.
There's still wheel to wheel!
That is unbelievable.
League of Europe, grow or fade.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the League of Europe. We are here for the second round of the PC tier. My name is J. Carl, again covering the comms for you guys, again, as I said, for the second round of the League of Europe. Last time out in Australia, it was a pretty dominant win for VSR, Mr. Anchor, and I must admit he done an absolute stellar job of taking the win on that one. And we have got quite a few more people. Well, I'd say quite a few more people. There's a full nine. I say full. It's 19 drivers that are on the grid tonight. In case you guys don't know what the calendar is looking like, here you go. You have got Australia. We've already been for Australia. Tonight, as I said, is Bahrain. Next week we are going over to Vietnam and the Netherlands, and then we'll be going over towards Spain and Baku after that. Canada, Austria, Silverstone, Hungary, Belgium and Italy. 30th of October, we have got our break week in that time. The 13th race we have is Singapore on the 6th of November. Then you've got Japan, USA, Mexico, Abu Dhabi, and then in classic LOE fashion, we will finish it off with Brazil. So again, making sure you all tune in for all of those races. I will try and see if I can get the standings up for you guys very, very shortly in case you guys did miss last week's race, so do bear with me for 1 second. In fact, I might actually be able to even pull it up on screen for you guys. But I've just seen a few people in the chat. You've got the likes of Smitsky in here saying give us a show. Cloudicus in, here we go, peeps. Jasper cheering on for Dan or Ling. Dan Ling. Let's see if I can get that up. Here we go. So the standings I have got on my side here. I am just going to pull that up for you guys so you can actually just have a look. Here we go. So standings are as follows. You can see Mr. Anchor is currently the one in the lead. He is sitting on 25 points, with Syke in second with 18, Jonathan in third with 15, Lawman's in fourth with 12. Unfortunately, has got a quali ban for blocking somebody in qualifying last race. In P5 is XL Dan, 6th is Dylan Warren, 7th is E2 Frey, and 8th with having a good battle with E2 last race. In 9th is Vallejo. I believe I'm actually more than likely going to make him a full-time, as Moritz has decided to quit the league, unfortunately. He did DNF last time out. In 10th is ILRT Black Panther. In 11th is Cute Janssen, after having a good start, unfortunate of what happened to him in the middle of the race. V5 has the final point. Bree, WF Gaming, O'Hardy, Gilzo, Exy, and Graham, and Bones, all without a point. Bones, of course, not starting last time. He is here tonight, however. Now, shall we get on with the race at hand? Because I feel like that would probably be the best idea for everybody. So as I said, everyone, welcome to the second round for the PC tier for the League of Europe. We are here at the Bahrain International Circuit, like I have said. This track is very interesting. I think it was a bit updated from a few years years ago, back in 2012. Don't quote me on that, I am honestly not too sure. You can see 15 turns on your screen, and as you can see at the bottom right of your screen, this was from last season, Division 2 between Gary and McCrew at turns 1, 2 and 3. Very good battle between the pair of them, Gary taking the win eventually. Now looking down into turn 10, it was in Division 1, unfortunately, where Chapelele and Verstappen had came together, as you could see from that. And now looking over to the final turn in the Bahrain International Circuit. As I said, 15 corners. It is definitely quite a complex track, but it's also pretty spaced out and quite even between everybody else. As I said, the final corner, you can see in the top right of your screen, it was indeed, I can't remember who it was that took the pole on that one, but they did manage to come around the corner and get themselves pole for that one. So here you go. As I said, that is actually more or less to do with the track. And now we will move on over to the race for you guys, or over to qualifying. So far on qualifying, Jonathan sitting on a 25.4. I believe he has done those on a set of softs. Yeah, he has. In fact, everybody has done their times on a set of softs, other than Frey. He's done his on a set of the mediums so far. Keep Jansen doing pretty well, actually, sitting up in P2. Black Panther is in third at the moment, as you can see. E2 in fourth, Dan in fifth, V5 in sixth, I believe, is on an in-lap at the moment. Yeah, he is definitely on an in-lap. Gilzo sitting in seventh, eighth is Itendu, ninth is Frey, and WF Game rounding out the top 10. Bones is sitting in P11 for now, although I know he is going to want to do a much better time than that, and I'm assuming that is exactly what he is doing, so we'll ride on board with him. In P12 at the moment is Graham, who is currently on a lap. In fact, he has just started his lap. Vallejo, well, in fact, all of those guys haven't actually set any sort of time so far. Lawrence, as I said, does have a quali ban for blocking somebody last race, so he will be starting from the back of the grid. But as I said, we're going to sit on board with Bag of Bones, as apparently he's 3.4 seconds down on his time. However, I'm not too sure if that is right or not. He is still in hot lap ERS, so I believe... Let's have a look. Oh, yeah, no, he's definitely up on his time, so I believe he is definitely going for it. So we'll stick on board with Bag of Bones, and we'll see how he ends up cracking on with this, as he now makes his way up towards turn 15, the final corner. Does that ever so nicely, and in fact, Bones does go straight into the pit. So we'll sit on board with the Racing Point of Graham. I must admit, last time out he did impress me. The two Racing Points did impress me. Of course, it's not the results that they both wanted, but there is potential for the both of them. So we'll stick on board with the Brit of Graham, making his way around turn 14. Turn 14, and now making his way up towards the final turn, breaking at the 100-meter board, going down into fourth gear, getting nice and early onto the power. Now DRS wide open. Graham, where's it going to put him? It puts him in between Dan and V5. He does a 26.4, so a decent lap for the Brit, as I said, in the Racing Point. Now, let's see if we can go on board with... We'll go on board with DL Warren, as he is now actually... In fact, no, he isn't starting a lap. He's done a 38.0 for his first lap. So I'm assuming he's more than likely sort of sandbagged that, as I've just seen someone just completely go and fly across the track. Who was that? Who's this in front of him? He just flew in the front. Oh, it's Psych. Just completely flew in front of him. But E2 now are trying to improve on his lap time of a 26.2. We have got another 8.5 minutes left to go in this quali session, and so far Mr. BDG Jonathan is the one sitting on pole. So only two people so far on doing a 25, or are in the 25, shall I say. E2 looks like he's just having a little bit of connection issues, but it shouldn't hamper him too much. And in fact, I'm going to go on board with last week's race winner, because I believe he is making his way up to the final corner now on a set of the mediums. Is it going to be anywhere near challenging possibly the likes of Syke and E2, especially on those medium tyres? He's slotted himself just behind Dan, doing a 26.2, and I'm being told that there is no game sound. I don't know why there is no game sound, because I'm pretty sure I did put that on, and I do apologise. You guys should now have game sound. So apologies for that. I did turn it on. No idea why it turned itself back off, but hey ho, it is what it is. We're going to go on board with Mr. XL Dan, XL Ling, as he is now called on PS4, just to try and have a little bit of a pun. the Dutchman making his way around the final corner. DRS is going to be wide open for him. It's looking like it's going to be an improvement over time, but what is he going to do? He's the third one into the 25s. He's done a 25.9. And now the other, it's not Dutch because he's from Belgium, goes up ahead of him. It's the battle of the Belgian versus the Dutch, I think, is what we are going to see here this evening. Nice to see a load of people in the chat. We have got 16 people currently watching, so hello to everybody that is watching currently. I also would actually just say thank you very much for 400 subscribers on the YouTube channel. We're getting there, boys. We're getting there. Boys and girls, shall I say. I'm not here to judge. But we're going to, in fact, we're going to see, and we're going to go on board with Bree for a lap of Bahrain, especially under these beautiful lights in this beautiful black Merc. As Bree makes his way out to the line, it was a valid lap and he's done a 25.8. He slotted himself up ahead of Dan, so into P4 goes the Maltese man in the Mercedes. So that was a very good lap from him, I must admit. Very good lap from Bree. Now let's have a look about on board with the other Mercedes of V5 as he's making his way up to the final, or making his way up towards the line now. In any contention? He's done a 25.9 as well, so Dan splitting both of the Mercs. That is very tight between those three. Four, in fact, with Black Panther involved. Syke on an outlap to make his way on to or to start off on a lap. Jonathan will stick on board with the German. Very unfortunate for him what happened last weekend, as he could have probably taken the race win. Bit unfortunate for him though, just due to a few connection issues, I believe. We'll see if he is going to bounce back with that one. Looking for a bit of redemption. I don't see why he wouldn't. So yeah, we'll stick on board with the German, making his way around turn 10 and opening that DRS now. As he had a bit of a lock up into turn 10, I must admit, but now breaking at the 50-meter board. Gets that turn in very nicely. Does avoid that outside curb as well. Is he up on his time, however? Only just. So let's see, is the man in the Red Bull, the German, probably trying to replicate what Sebastian Vettel had done between the 2010 and the 2013 period. And in fact, he goes into the pits, interestingly enough. So right on board with Syke on the set of mediums, making his way around the second, as he has a little bit of a spin, and I believe, no, he didn't back off from that. For some reason it looked like he backed off, but there we go. He's 1.3 seconds down on his time, so I don't think he's going to look to try and improve any time soon. This man will ride on board with, however. There's a few people just coming out of the pits. Luckily, they don't hinder on his lap. Mr. Anchor making his way around turn 1, turn 2, and now up towards turn 3, where he is going to have his DRS now wide open. We'll see if he does improve on his time in the first sector. Coming around turn 4, this is very tricky corner to not, to try and avoid spinning. Is he up on his time? I would assume so. He is by 3/10, but it's not purple. As we're now into the business end of qualifying, Mr. Anchor Coming around turn 10, gets that stopped very nicely. DRS now wide open. And is it going to be enough to possibly beat the likes of Black Panther, even Cute Jansen and Jonathan? It's looking like a very tidy lap so far. He is 9 tenths up on his time. That is going to put him on pole if he does finish this lap. Here we go through the final corner now, as Mr. Anchor making his way up towards the line. Has he put it on pole? He has. He's done a 25.1. A lot of other guys are now on their laps as well. Black Panther, I believe, is now on his final lap as he makes his way around turn 4. A little bit of a lockup going through there, and in fact he has backed off, so he's going to try and go for another lap. Well, he's only got one more opportunity to go for it. He too is more than likely on his final lap now as well, unless he messes up, in which case he will probably try and go for yet another one. Warren, by the way, I've only just noticed, puts himself up into P9 on a set of the medium tyres, and I'll have a look at what people's best tyres are so far. So it literally is only Warren that has gone on a set of the mediums, and that can play well into his strategy later on in the race. As we are on board with the Brit who came second last time. It was the two VSR lads that were 1 and 2. But we're on board with the other VSR lad of Syke in the Williams, now making his way around turn 8. And we will see if he does lock up at the elusive turn 10. No, it gets us stopped very nicely and gets a very nice exit coming out of there as well. Straight on the power. DRS wide open for him now. This is looking like it could be a good lap. It is on a set of the medium, so he is going to try and do what Warren is doing. It just depends if he manages to improve on it or not. His best lap is on a set of the softs, so let's have a look. He's 7 tenths down on his time, so I don't think he's going to be able to. I think this is his only opportunity to get something done for it. As he too makes his way up to the line, just goes up ahead of Warren. And in fact, Syke might want to stay where he is, as he has a massive slide coming out of the final corner. Comes across the line. It is only a 26.5, so that is the best he is going to be able to achieve. And yeah, he's put his ERS at 0, so that is his last lap. Now, Gilzo, we'll go on board with the man in the Renault, the Irishman, and we will see how he fares on, see if he does improve up on his time. As he now makes his way around the dreaded turn 12 curve and trying not to spin. He is 6 tenths up on his time, actually, so that is going to put him in the 25s if he does finish his lap, and it could be in contention with the likes of Breathe Down and V5. Let's have a look as he's making his way up to the final corner now. And now making his way up towards the line. Got a very nice exit, did the Irishman. Here we go, coming across the line. Just behind V5. Look how close they are split. 4th down to 9th are all split by 2 tenths. And someone else just did improve then, I believe. I think it was Graham. It was Graham. As Bones has retired from the session in the pits, he didn't manage to get out and get another lap done. He too, is he trying to improve on his time? No, he's not. He has finished that part of his session. Black Panther comes into the pits to retire, so does Mr. Anchor. But Jonathan snags the pole away from Mr. Anchor. Can Cube Jansen maybe have an answer for these two? We're right on board with a racing point as Dan puts himself up in a P4 just up ahead of Black Panther. Excuse me, my voice is going. As here we go, Cube Jansen coming up to the final corner now. Does get a very nice exit coming out of there, but maybe took a little bit too much curve, but it doesn't let it's hindered him. He hasn't improved. He was very close on his time. And I believe that is all she wrote for qualifying. It is, because Brie is in the pits and V5 is on an in-lap. So yeah, that is all she wrote for qualifying. Jonathan does manage to snag the pole away from Mr. Anchor, only by a 1/10 of a second. Cube Jansen, as I said, the racing points have been impressing me. And he's put himself up into P3, Dan into P4, doing a 25.5. But there are your classifications for the qualifying around Bahrain. As I said, Jonathan qualifying on pole with Mr. Anker in second, with Coop Janssen in third, Excel Dan in P4, Black Panther in fifth, with Bree in sixth, V5 in seventh, Hardy in eighth, Graham sitting in P9 with Gills rounding out the top 10. E2 gets his free set of tyres in P11. Warren, he did give it a go, but he's starting down in P12 on a set of the mediums. He's probably kicking himself for that one. Although, to be fair, he will be starting on a fresh set of tyres, whether that be soft or whether that be mediums. Psych in P13 with Frey in 14th, Nintendo in 15th, Bones in 16th, WF Gaming in 17th, Vallejo in 18th, and as I said, Lawmans with the qualifying ban is starting at the back of the grid. But everyone in the chat, as I said, thank you all. Thank you to everyone that is in here. I can see Larkin in here, Cloudy Cloud in here as well. Larkin supporting Bones, Cloudy Cloud supporting Mr. Excelling Dan. Mark saying I'd be beating this lot worse than a ginger stepchild. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Q Jansen saying I'd be happy with a P2 in quali. I don't care about the race anymore. Fair enough. Nils in the chat saying what up, fam? 2 second gap between P1 and P19. Yeah, that's how tight it can be. That is how tight it can be. Jake saying my first soft stint was enough for pole, but I backed out and decided to qualify on mediums and choked both my laps. Unfortunate for that, Jake. Hopefully you can improve that in the race, my good sir. In fact, I'm going to quickly just chuck the link into the Steam chat, just in case anybody did want to try and get it up from that. Oh. Okay. I don't know what just happened, but I've just seen Jonathan get disqualified and so did Bree and Black Panther. Very confused. Very, very confused. In fact, you know what? Let's go on board and have a look at what people's tyres are on. So, let's have a look. Warren and Lawman's going on a set of the hards. Vallejo, the only one outside the top 10, going on a set of the softs. And E2, Psych, Frey, Nintendo, Bones, and WF Gaming all going on a set of the mediums. So, we'll see how they all line up. But we are just waiting for everyone to make their way up to the line. Lawmans will go aboard with him because he will be the last one to make his way up to the line without him doing any qualifying, which is a bit unfortunate for the Dutchman. Not a place that he'd want to be starting, but especially with a performance like he did last week, I'm sure he'll be able to make his way up through the field, and we will see how he fares on. So it says the 5 lights are on, but they're not actually on yet. Now the 5 lights will be on here for the round 2 race of the PC tier. It's lights out and away we go. Jonathan did not actually even start. He must have just caught a massive delay at the start. And he's been hit and is now in the wall. I don't know what is going on, but there's been a massive collision. Who's that going across? I see Tendu. There's been a 5 seconds penalty with Bree. I don't know what has just gone on. And there's already a safety car. I'm Huh? I'm so confused with what's just happened, but Mr. Anchor's gone into the lead. Jonathan's gone from hero to zero, unfortunately for him, and is now sitting down in dead last. But, I mean, the safety car is out for him, so that's the only good thing I can think of, is that he can actually get into the pits, get his tyres and his wing changed. I don't know if, did anybody else get caught up in that? I saw a lot of collisions going on. Bones, I can see, has already got wing damage. I think there was just a massive Constantina effect. WF Gaming's got wing damage. Tendo has wing damage. Nothing from Psych. Frey? I think his front left might be missing. Someone else just got wing damage. What is going on? Frey's got no wing damage. Graham, no wing damage. E2 has got left and right end plate missing. Nice. Bree, he's got quite a bit of his right end plate missing. Black Panther. Still got a full working wing. Warren, he's got himself up in a P7, to be fair. He's got right end plate damage as well. I don't think he's going to be happy with that. As we are, I think we're going to see a lot of guys coming in the pits. V5 has managed to keep damage free. Hardy has got damage. Gilzo, I don't know if he's got damage. I couldn't see any damage on the Renault. Look how many people are in the pits. Are they all going on a set of the hards? Obviously, other than the guys that started on the hards. I think they are going to be kicking themselves. Gilzo, yeah, no damage. Dan, no damage. Cute Jansen, I don't think has any damage either. And Mr. Anchor, no damage. So the guys that stayed out, I'm pretty sure, are the ones without any damage. Other than Vallejo. I'm pretty sure both AlphaTauris had wing damage, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, Vallejo didn't have any wing damage. The Bones I was thinking of that had the wing damage then. So, everybody, that was yeah, that was a very interesting start, I must admit. A very, very interesting start. And hopefully, that can be made up for. But I think we're going to have to wait yet another lap for the safety car to come in, as everybody is still just trying to catch up to the pack. WF Gaming, of course, is the one sitting at the back at the moment. Everybody that did come into the pits have gone on a set of the mediums or a set of the hards. Hardy, Etendo, and Bones all going on a set of the hards, so they may try and take those to the end of the race, or they are going for the soft hard, medium, hard, and soft strategy. We don't know. We don't know. And we'll have to wait and see. But quickly recap in the chat. Cloudy Cloud saying, "Let's go down. New Luigi Carnage." Yep. Cloudy Cloud. Oh dear. D5 preview race. You can't be saying that, Cloudy. Yeah, even Jasper's agreeing with me there. Don't say that, Cloudy. But whilst we are in this little safety car interval, may as well say it now. Yeah, we've got D1 to D5 tomorrow. D1, D3 and D4 all taking place at 6:40 p.m. British Standard Time. And D2 and D5 at 8 p.m. British Standard Time. So making sure you guys are all tuning in for that. And yeah, as I said, make sure you are tuning in, because they can have some very exhilarating and exciting races. I tried mixing the two words together. I'm too sure as to why. But yeah, you can have some, there are going to be some very, very exciting races to be had for tomorrow. Throughout all 5 divisions, actually. So, making sure everyone is tuning in. I believe the safety car will be in this lap. We will have to wait and see once we get up that hill. Here we go. Let's have a look. Is the safety car in this lap? Everyone is at the back of the pack now. WF Gaming has managed to catch up to the back, so I assume it is going to be in this lap. So, is the Finn of Mr. Anchor going to have a stellar restart and just absolutely blitz away from the pack? Will Cute Jansen or Dan maybe try and catch up to it, as there's been a massive Constantina effect and there is more wing damage to a lot of other people. I don't know who or what got damaged. I saw a load of penalties just pop up on my screen. I think I saw Lawman's get one, so I'm hoping Lawman's doesn't have any more wing damage. It doesn't look as if he is, but we are back underway as Mr. Anchor. In fact, Cube Jansen's managed to keep up with him at that restart. It's just looking like it's a bit of a Noah's Ark effect. They're going 2 by 2 as Gilzo trying to go down the inside of Dan in towards turn 1. Gilzo not able to get it done as V5 and Black Panther both going side by side in towards turn 1. A little bit of space left. I think it was just enough space, but Black Panther does retain that P5 position as E2 and Bree are both going at it. Bree trying to go around the outside of E2 and down the inside into turn 2 against the other Finn in the Haas, as Bree and E2 are still both side by side. Can I get a better camera in before this? I certainly can, as E2 down the inside of turn 4 on the Maltese man of Bree gets that move done, as Jonathan now behind this battle, and this is not where the German wanted to be, especially starting on pole. I don't know what had happened at the beginning of that race, and I really want to see that back. But as Jonathan dives it down the inside of the Maltese man of Bree, Jonathan now still side by side with Bree, gets a much better exit than the man in the Merc, and he is now down into P15. Jonathan up into P14. I say up, it's more still down for him. I'll have a look at the position changes because that was a lot. So the one that's moved up the most it is Vallejo. However, in fact, no, he didn't have any wing damage. I keep thinking he has wing damage, but Vallejo moving up the most places, up 9 positions, as you can see on your screen. And Jonathan, unfortunately, dropping down 13. Other ones to mention as well. You've got the likes of Hardy and Graham that have unfortunately also dropped down. As Syke has just been passed by Vallejo. Speaking of that, coming up into the penultimate corner. So I don't know what's happened to Syke, just dropped down ever so slightly as Dylan Warren is now onto the back of him. Mr. Anchor setting the fastest lap of the race, of course, under that safety car restart. And now let's see, is Warren going to maybe try and up a move on any of these guys? No, he does not. It looks as if everybody is just staying in line for now. However, Gilzo all over the back of Dan. Dan, I was about to say he's dropping off from Cube Jansen, but in fact it's the other way around. Cube Jansen is starting to drop off from Mr. Anchor as there are yellows. And it is E2. I don't know what has happened there, and I did not mean to load his profile. I can only apologise. But I don't know what's happened there. Has he broken his wing? It doesn't look as if he has. I think he only had... I think he must have spun at turn 2 as Jonathan down the inside of E10 new at the hairpin and has gotten that move done. Jonathan is building his way back up. Could he still be on for a good result at the end of the race, as Frey and Vallejo have just changed the positions? Vallejo, he's on an absolute fire. He's now moved up 11 positions. Although he did get a very bad exit coming out of turn 11. There's a bit of a lock-up as well. But in fact, I'm going to stick on board with this battle because it looks like there's a bit of a train forming. Vallejo, Frey, Syke and Warren all crowded together as Syke has now just gotten past Frey. Frey has gone very wide at the final corner. Now Dylan Warren is going to try and go down the inside of the Spaniard of Frey. As I said, they are in a train. So Warren wants to try and sit in this train. However, Syke, I thought he was eyeing up a move on Vallejo, but Dylan Warren down the inside of the Spaniard of Frey. Oh, a little bit of a push and shove, but it's still all fair. As I say, all's fair in love and war, and that was definitely war. And Warren getting the move done on the Spaniard of Frey. Now up into P9, and Syke still can't seem to get past Vallejo, although Vallejo is on a bit of a flyer at the moment. And this is a very good camera angle to see all of this action. So you can see Dylan Warren just catching up to the back of Syke. I think Syke actually needs to be careful of Warren more than he needs to try and get past Vallejo at the moment. However, Vallejo isn't going to have any DRS, and Dan very close to the back of Q Jansen. Is he going to eye up a move on him? No, he is not. So I'll go back on board with, in fact, I'll go on board with this one as V5 and Black Panther are both side by side. A little bit of contact between the pair of them. I think V5 just had a little bit of understeer, but does manage to maintain P6 for now. Black Panther doing a decent job into P5 so far. Although he has lost the pack that are up ahead of him. Just being asked to show the tyres, so there are the tyres. The top 7, well, other than V5, because he's now made his way into the pits, are all on a set of the softs. So V5 is going to be the first one out of all of these guys to come into the pits and get a change. But he had a 5-second stop go, as Dan and Cube Janssen were both side by side. Dan, now, DRS is more than likely going wide open. It is. Cube Janssen going defensive on the inside up in towards turn 4. Dan trying to go around the outside of Cube Janssen in towards turn 4. He's still there. Is he going to go? No, surely he's not going to try it. Surely he's not going to try it. I've done this move to him last season. He hasn't tried. He hasn't been able to get through. He's had to stay behind the racing point for now. But that's allowed Gilzo to now start catching up to these guys. So we've got a 3-way battle here for P4. And I'm pretty sure Black Panther wants a little bit in on the action very soon as well. The two Renaults. It went quite bad for him in the first race, but now they're sitting in P4 and P5. It is a lot better than they were expecting. Done this move too in the last season, flexing. Fair enough, fair enough. But Dan, DRS is going to be open for him as Cube Janssen goes straight into the pits. I think he's going to try and follow footsteps in V5's, but as Gilzo's also made his way into the pits. So where is V5 actually going to come out in relation to all these guys? He's making his way around the turn 13 corner, although he did have a 5-second stop go, so you've got to remember that as Dylan Warren gets past Vallejo. Oh, DRS is wide open for Vallejo though. Is he going to try and maybe dive it down the inside? No, he doesn't. I've also realised he's lost a place to Psych. So Vallejo now down into P6, which I think is actually a net P8 or a net P9. And to be fair, for the guys that are on the mediums right now, a 2-stop could potentially work for them. Because they're going to be on a fresher set of either mediums or hards. Especially if they're on the mediums now, they could even go for a second set of mediums if they didn't start on those tyres. Oh, as Frey and Norman's both side by side. I'm sorry I didn't manage to catch this. And Jonathan now trying to get on in the act as that as well. Jonathan going down the inside of the Alfa Romeo. Frey gets that job done and is now up into P8. Lawman's up into P7, and these guys are rising through the field like there's no tomorrow. Up next, he has got Vallejo, both Jonathan and Lawman, shall I say. So we'll see if they manage to catch up to him, and we'll see if they do manage to catch up to him, if they will end up eventually getting past him. As WF Gaming, I believe, has picked up the first actual corner cutting penalty as Dan into the pits. The only two still yet to pit, or only 3 yet to pit. Vallejo, Black Panther, and Mr. Anchor. That's a bit of a lock-up from Black Panther, Psych, all over the back of him, and I'm going to actually see where a few of these other guys come out, because Dan was battling with Cube Janssen, Gilzo, and V5. Cube Janssen and Gilzo. V5 was just a little bit behind them. And Dan has come up behind Cube Janssen, has come up behind Gilzo. And Psych, I didn't even manage to catch it. I am so sorry. It was on the stream, but Black Panther has been overtaken by the man in the Williams, and now Dylan Warren trying to go down the inside of the Belgium. And maintains his position for now. And Dylan Warren, I know he's going to want to try and get past him ASAP to try and keep up with Psych, especially considering they're now on the same strategy. DRS is wide open for him now though. He's going to try and go down the inside in towards turn 11 as a bit of a lock-up, but move done. I think it was quite an easy move for him, although Black Panther is trying to come back at him. But on these new set of softs, I don't think there's much he's going to be able to do. Though Warren does lock up quite a bit into turn 13. Turn 13. Both having a massive lock up, however. And I'm assuming he's into the pits. Yeah, he certainly is, and so is Vallejo, and so is Mr. Anchor. So where is Mr. Anchor going to come out in relation to all of this? He's gone on a set of the hards. Dan also going on a set of the hards V5 as well, on a set of the hards. Where does he actually come out? He comes out just up ahead of Bagger Bones and just behind WF Gaming, so he's going to want to try and get past all of these guys ASAP if he still wants any chance of taking a win. How far is he behind the leaders, however? Wrong one. So he is 15.6 seconds behind the leaders. All of those guys are more than likely going to have to stop again. So I think at the moment, if I'm not mistaken, he is still net leader. If I'm not mistaken. It's just a battle at the back of the field between Graham and Hardy. Graham getting overtaken by Hardy in the Ferrari. A little bit of a rhyme there. It's Vallejo and V5 now both side by side. Vallejo's actually gone on a set of the softs. Mr. Anchor does get past WF Gaming in the end. But Vallejo, it means he's having a 2-stop. Whereas V5, he's going to try and go to the end of the race on those hard tyres. So kind of interesting. The same with Gilzo and Q Jansen. They've gone on a set of mediums, interestingly enough. So they must be 2-stopping it as well. Because I'll be shocked if they manage to actually go for a soft to medium. I'll be very shocked. Again, I've done a wire view profile. I again apologise. But here you go, Q Jansen. DRS is open. Mr. Anchor gets past Tendu. Tendu was maybe thinking about a switchback, but not able to get past. As Tendu all over the back of E2, as there's Bones just having a bit of an oversteer moment. I don't think he's hit the wall, and he's managed to come back on track just behind everybody else. As, yeah, there you go. Q Jansen getting past Tendu, and there's a bit of a rev glitch for E2, so I'm not going to stick on board with him. As Gilzo trying to go down the inside into turn 5. Not where you want to do it, and Gilzo is round. I think it was a bit of a bit too much of an optimistic move for the Irishman, and it has absolutely costed him, and he's now got Vallejo all over the back of him. Q Jansen now, DRS wide open from him at WF Gaming. Might have had a little bit of commentator's curse to the Renaults, I'm not going to lie, as Q Jansen going around the outside of WF Gaming, and WF Gaming has touched the inside curb and is round, and he has broken his wing. As all you can see the two cars going side by side of Bones and Black Panther, both still very close together. Black Panther keeping the inside into turn 13. Bones, he is still needing to make a pit stop, I believe, unless he is going to try and go to the end on those set of hards. It's going to be very difficult, but I mean, I suppose it is always possible. But Bones has to stay behind for now. DRS is wide open for the man in the AlphaTauri, but not close enough to the Belgian in the Renault. And now I'm going to go on board. In fact, I'm going to go on board with the two teammates, the two Red Bulls. It was a bit of an odd start. Jonathan just looked like he missed the lights completely. I'm not too sure what happened with that. And I think, as I said, that caused a little bit of a backlog with everybody. I think everyone was just hitting into each other, and it was definitely a more chaotic start, to say the least. But we did get a safety car straight away, got all of that back up and running, and now Mr. Anchor is the one, I believe, in the net lead of the race. As I said, unless for whatever reason some of these guys are going to try and take the mediums to the end of the race. I guess we'll have to wait and see, as Warren is going to have the DRS on his teammate. Jonathan does not have any DRS, however. And as you can see, the pit window is open for the mediums. So the guys that are on a set of mediums, they want it to pit and go on a set of the hards, they are more than welcome to do so. In fact, I'm going to go on board with Q Jansen as he's about to make a move on Tendu going in towards turn 1. A little bit of contact between the pair of them, but Tendu trying to hold it around the outside of the racing point. He's gotten that move done fairly simple. And that is cute. Now, up into P8. However, Utendu will have DRS on the Racing Point as there are more yellows, and I believe that is Graham, the other Racing Point. Must have had a bit of a slide because he's dropped back quite a bit from WF Gaming. Very unfortunate for him, as Utendu has a massive slide coming out of turn 7, sorry. I know that turn 7 curb can be a bit of a nightmare. However, that's on the outside of it. And sometimes it can be on the inside, I must admit. But this battle for what is currently the lead of the race. Let's see if we're going to see any moves going down in towards turn 1. In fact, Syke into the pits. Does any of those guys follow? Jonathan, Warren, they do stay out. So Syke probably going on another set of the mediums to the end of the race, because I believe he did start. Oh no, he started on the set of the mediums, didn't he? So he's going to have to go on a set of the hards to go to the end of the race. However, Warren and Jonathan, DRS now wide open for Warren, but he's just going to do the courteous thing and just stay behind his teammate. As Frey and E2 had made their way into the pits as well. And Syke has actually come out behind Black Panther, 1.5 seconds behind Vallejo. Still on those set of softs, he's more than likely going to have to make another pit stop. And I can probably imagine it would be in about 6 laps time, 5-6 laps time. But for now, he's just making the best out of a bad situation on these set of softs. Remember though, Vallejo, wait, did he go on a set of, he went on a set of, no, he stayed on the set of soft, so he's going for soft, medium possibly. So he is definitely two-stopping it. You know what, I'm going to go on board with Gilzo. Gilzo, again, another one that's more than likely going to have to make another stop. He's got a much better exit than Bones has coming out of that turn 10 hairpin. DRS wide open, goes around the outside of him into turn 11. Bones trying to hold it, but there's nothing that the Brit can do, and is now up into P12. Again, he's going to have to do another stop. Bones is more than likely going to have to do another stop, as there was just a change between the two McLarens, Dan and Utendu. And there is Jonathan into the pits, counteracting for Syke. Where is Syke in relation to all of this, however? He's making his way around the final corner as Black Panther goes very wide at the final corner. So here we go, Jonathan now coming out of the pits. Where is Syke? Nowhere to be seen. So Jonathan has come out in the P6 and is actually on a set of mediums, although it has a bit of a moment going through turn 2. And now you got Dan all over the back of the German. Jonathan did start on a set of the softs as Dan picks himself up a 3-second time penalty. If he keeps it up this way, by Canada, he's probably going to have more penalties than what he's actually had in a whole season from last season. Mr. Anchor, DRS wide open on the Malteser Bree, goes straight down the inside and towards turn 11. I don't think Bree's going to fight it too much. No, he does just sit behind him. Mr. Anchor now up into P3. You've still got Warren and Normans who are going to need to make another pit stop, and I'm assuming I'll pit in this lap. As you can see down the bottom right, you've got the little blue spanner. And I'm more than likely going to be making the pit stop this lap as Warren. No, he doesn't come into the pits. However, does Normans come into the pits? He is. So Lawrence into the pits. So that's going to promote Mr. Anchor into P2. Bree, is he going to follow it in the pits? He does indeed, to maybe try and get a little bit of leeway on Lawrence. Lawrence, if I'm not mistaken, I think he had a 5-second stop go from when there was that whole collision that was going on under the safety car. He did. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I don't think Dutchman's going to be very happy about that. Did Bree have one though? No. So Bree and Normans, all very close in the pit lane, but it's going to be very close coming out of this pit lane as well between the pair of them, and they're going to be right in this battle with the likes of V5 and Frey as well. So there you go, V5, Lawmans both side by side in towards turn 1. Lawmans does back off from that. Hardy picks himself up a 5-second stop go for speeding into the pits, but V5 does come out ahead of Lawmans. However, Bree and Lawmans are both on a set of the medium tyres. compared to V5's hards. As you can see now, Itendu and Psych both side by side. A little bit of I think there's just a tiny little bit of contact, but Itendu trying to keep it down the inside of the Williams, trying to fight it as hard as he can, but there's nothing more that the Frenchman can do, and has to stay behind Psych for now. And Black Panther and Vallejo, I think, are going to want to try and get past the McLaren ASAP, as they were battling with Psych previously. But Itendu doing a good job of just keeping up into P7 for now. I'm assuming he's going to have to stop again, like Bones, both pitted under the safety car. Oh, Itendu did have a massive moment though coming out of that corner. Now Black Panther trying to go down the inside of him into the final corner. Is he going to keep that move done? A massive lock up from him. Jonathan does set the fastest up in the race. Itendu gets a little bit dodgy on the exit, and now Vallejo getting past the man in the McLaren. Has he not got DRS? He has DRS, but for some reason he's not opening it. Very strange. As Vallejo goes into the back of Black Panther, that's going to allow Itendu to now try and go back around the outside of him. A bit of contact between the pair of them. And Itendu gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. And now Black Panther trying to hold it around the outside of the McLaren. It's two Renault engines against each other, and Black Panther does keep that position on Itendu. I think that was almost helped by Vallejo just tapping the back of the Belgian. But what about Brie? He is still very close behind Lawmans. These two having a very good battle. It was one XL member last weekend. Now it is the other XL member. As DRS is going to be wide open for the Maltese man. Is he going to try and eye up a move on Lawmans? He is in an overtake. However, he is now just taking himself out of overtake, maybe just to try and get a bit of a better exit. As Psych all over the back of Dan. Is Psych, he's not going to try and go for a move into the final corner. He's going to wait for that DRS, which he will have, and Dan looks like he got a little bit shaky out of that final corner, as you can see, as Psych now DRS wide open for him, and straight down the inside of Dan, and is up into P5. I've just realised as well, the two Red Bulls are sitting in second and fourth, even after making the pit stop, and they don't have to make another stop. Jonathan, despite what happened at the start, he's gone from first to last, now into second, and could potentially take the win. So the guys that started on the mediums, when they had that safety car come out, it's really messed them over, especially the ones that got the wing damage, because they could have gone for a lot longer than what the guys on the softs could have done. But because the safety car came out, it's really messed up their strategy. Very interesting, very interesting. But we are on board currently with the battle of Lawmans and Brie for P9. Lawmans, again, unfortunate for him, he had a quali ban for this race, but he's done well to make his way up into P9. I'm going to actually have a look at who's now gained the most positions, because I believe everyone has made the stops that they are required, maybe other than Cube Jansen, who may need to stop again with Itendu. Bones has stopped again, so that's him all sorted out until the end of the race. Gilzo has also made his stop, and in fact it's all over the back of Vallejo, so we'll stick on board with this battle here for P14. In case you guys are new to the League of Europe, it is the top 12 in this league that get the points. So Frey is the one that is currently with the final amount of points, as Itendu does make his way into the pits. Is he going to be maybe around where Bones is, going on a set of mediums? He is on a set of mediums. So let's have a look where he does come out. He's just making his way out of the pit lane now. He might even be in this battle between Vallejo and Gilzo. Where is Itendu? He is definitely going to be in this battle with him, as Gilzo DRS wide open for him. Trying to go on the inside of the AlphaTauri, as there you can see in the background is Itendu. Gilzo getting that move done. I think probably going to be the easiest move you'll see all night. Gilzo now up into in fact P13 because of Itendu coming into the pits. And Itendu, he may want to try and move up a few more positions just to get himself that first point finish. But for now, E2 is the one on the final points position due to Itendu coming into the pits as well. Vallejo does have the DRS wide open on the man in the Renault. And I don't think there's going to be anything he can do about it. He's just going to have to stay behind him for now. As Cube Jansen, I think it's a bit of a sitting duck here. Dylan going straight on the inside of Cube into turn one. He's even got the move done before the corner. Just moves straight back onto the racing line. And now the Brit into P3. Is he going to have any chance of maybe catching his teammate? Or better yet, maybe even catching Mr. Anchor? He's got 9 laps left to go with 10 seconds behind him. He's on a fresher set of mediums, on a softer compound. It's doable. It's tough, but it's definitely doable. Coop, you've got to think, he's more than likely going to have to make another pit stop, and if he does, that's going to slot him down around P10, P11. He did just have a massive moment, if you guys had managed to see that, massive lock up as well into turn 10. But like I said, the racing points have been impressing me. So far, one is having a good race, and unfortunately for the other one, he's just not. The race just hasn't come together for him. And Coop, as I said, he's had a very good race so far. A much better race than what he had in Australia. And another one that's also having a bit of a better race than what he did in Australia is Bree. He was, I think, at the final corner. It was somewhere like lap 13 or 14, unfortunately taking a spin into the final corner. As cute as I said it, yeah, he does make his way into the pits. So we'll see where he comes out as Bree. DRS is going to be wide open for him on Dutchman of Lawmans. These two starting to catch up to Black Panther. So these two could still be on for a pretty good result actually. As Bones picks himself up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. If any of you know what I'm like with streaming, or if you don't know, I never like looking at the penalties. It's just always interesting to keep it for the end of the race. As I said, gives a little bit of a spicy turn on it. But look at how much these two are catching up to Black Panther. Black Panther obviously on 10-lap old hards, compared to Lawmans and Bree on their 4-lap old mediums. And nice little helicopter view here. Lawmans is now in the DRS of Black Panther, and I don't think Bree is going to like that. As this could allow Lawmans to possibly get away. The two ILRT teammates could play this very well and getting away with Bree, as Bree sort of on the cusp of that 1 second gap between him and Lawmans. We'll have to wait and see when we come in towards turn 1, as Lawmans didn't look like he actually had the best exit coming out of there. However, it doesn't look like Bree had made up for it either. As Lawmans might even try and eye up a move on his ILRT compadre going in towards turn 1. So we shall see. DRS is now going to be wide open for the Dutchman in the Williams. Here we go, trying to go down the inside of, it's a Belgium versus Dutch, both in ILRT. Black Panther trying to hold it around the outside, now down in the inside, in towards turn 2. Lawmans does squeeze his way into it though, and now both, Lawmans with the DRS wide open, a little bit of a contact between the pair of them. And Lawmans keeping it down the inside of Black Panther in towards turn 4. They're still both side by side. Lawmans has a little bit of a wobble. Black Panther tries to defend down the inside and has kept it as Bree. Oh, I've done it again. I've commentator's cursed someone. Bree having a spin at turn 4. Just doing a few donuts from the looks of things. Bree. He was running such a good race, and now he's out of the points. Gilzo is now making up that final point. There we go, Lawmans. Still close to Black Panther. Good battle between the pair of them last time. A little bit of a touch and go, literally, but still a good battle between the pair of them. Frey, V5, and Coop all very close together, as Cooper's on the softest compound, so he's on a set of softs, the only one at the moment on a set of softs. Oh, he's gone into the back of Frey! And he's broken his front wing. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I don't think he's going to be too best pleased with that one, as Norman's now DRS wide open for him. I don't think there's anything that Black Panther's going to be able to do. Norman's straight down the inside. Black Panther does try to give him a bit of a squeeze, but by that point, Norman's is already through. Straight down into turn 1, is already past his ILRT compadre. Coop trying to go down the inside of the Spaniard of Frey. V5 is the one that is covering the inside corner. However, Coop, with that wing damage, still both side by side with Frey, goes around the outside of turn 2, despite having that wing damage. Very good move for the man on the racing point. Is he going to get for 2 for 1 though, as V5 now trying to defend down the inside. He is on a softer compound, has given him plenty enough room as well. And Coop has actually gotten that move done around the outside of turn 4, despite having that wing damage. So Coop, even though he's, as I said, even though he's got that wing damage, very good move nonetheless, as Frey eyeing up a move on the Brit of V5. As Frey now DRS is wide open, V5 look like he got a little bit of a dodgy exit, and he's now 1.2 seconds behind Coop. Just managed to keep that DRS, however, but he's definitely not going to have it leading up in towards turn 1. We've got 5 more laps left to go, and it is this man right here still leading it at the moment, but Jonathan is only 3.3 seconds behind him now. However, these medium tyres are definitely starting to go off. I think Warren is more than likely going to be staying in P3. It's just a battle between these two, and it looks like I think Jonathan may have to stick where he is for now. I don't think he's made up any time on Mr. Anchor over these past 2 laps, just keeping a bit of a sharp eye on it. Syke doing a decent job in P4 for now as well, especially considering he started down in P13. Dan keeping his P5. Lawmans, again, impressive job, as Gilzo and E2 have just traded places. This is, again, 4 final sets of points. Gilzo getting past the Finn of E2. But E2 will have the DRS, but Gilzo, just because he's on a softer compounded tyre, I don't think there's anything he's going to be able to do. At the moment, we haven't had any retirees, so it's run pretty well. I commend all of you. It's Bree behind Itendu. Again, he wasn't happy. I know he isn't happy with what happened, as he goes down the inside of the McLaren. A little bit of contact. I don't think Itendu was expecting to go and beat on his inside, so Bree has to stick behind the McLaren for now. Has a massive lockup going into turn 10, however, but DRS is going to be wide open for the Maltese man. He looked like he got a bit of a better exit than what the McLaren did. DRS overtake now on for Bree, but it's just not enough. I don't know, he's saying that it's just not enough. As E2 could be under a little bit of trouble. Gilzo's already built up that 1.3 second gap from him, so he isn't going to have any DRS. However, Vallejo all over the back of the Finn in the Haas. So is E2 about to lose out on his points, as Frey trying to possibly go around the outside of V5 in towards turn 1. He's trying to stick it around the outside of the Brit. He's now got the inside for turn 2. He's left, they've both left each other enough room as well, and as you can see in the background, E2 and Vallejo as well fighting for that final points position. Frey trying to go around the outside of V5 now in towards turn 4. He's broke a lot later than what the Brit has, but V5 gets a much better run coming out of it. Still enough room left between the pair of them. Both still side by side, not through turn 4 and turn 5. Sorry, turn 5, turn 6. He's done it. Frey, he's got past him. And Vallejo has gotten past E2 as well. So Vallejo doing a good job. So he's up in the P12 now. And he's in the final points position. V5, I imagine, is probably going to want to try and get a move done once again on Frey. Taking his position. Bree still not being able to get past the Frenchman of Itendu. Ooh, now that's an interesting one. Vallejo picking up a 3-second time penalty, so he's going to have a mission to do to keep that P12 as Bree picks himself up a 3-second time penalty. Both going side by side in towards the final corner of E2 and Vallejo. E2 will have that DRS, but Vallejo does manage to hold it around the outside. But I don't think he's going to be able to keep this position for long, as DRS now wide open for the man in the Haas. Straight down the inside, and in fact before the corner's even done, I did say before the easy smooth you're going to see all night, that is more than likely going to be the easy smooth you will see all night. V5 still over the back of Frey, considering that he's on 18 lap old hard, as Bree has gotten past Itendu and has made that move stick. However, Itendu will have the DRS on him. Bree does cover off the inside, and Itendu still trying to go for a bit of a switchback on the Murky there. It could make it work, but I think Bree just got better traction. Oh, he's absolutely tried to go down the inside. He's absolutely clattered him, and Itendu, again, he's done the same as what Gilzo's done. He could have been a little bit more patient with that, and just, yeah, I think Bree left him enough space. Itendu just tried going straight for the dive, and there was nothing he could do. Itendu, if he had any hopes of points, now he doesn't. Unfortunate for him. Looking at this though, Jonathan, I said I didn't think he was going to catch. He's now only 1.6 seconds behind Mr. Anchor. He's got 3 more laps left to go of the race. And so far, he has driven an absolute stellar race considering what happened to him at the very start. Literally, he had no wing. He has just lapped the 2 Ferraris of WF Gaming and O'Hardy. And now Frey. Oh, I've just realised V5 got past Frey. I didn't even, for some reason I didn't catch it, but V5, you just seen him have a massive moment out of turn 2. He was definitely, like Lawman's last week, touching cloth. But no, he does manage to stay up ahead of the Spaniard in that Alfa Romeo. Itendu coming into the pits and gone on a set of the soft, so he's going to try and go for the fastest lap of the race. And he definitely has the ability to do so. So we'll see if he does manage to cop that. I believe the fastest lap so far is set by Jonathan, if I am not mistaken. It is. He's done a 28.7 as V5 picked himself up a 3-second time penalty. I think he just went a bit too wide for the entrance of turn 11, and I know a few people have done that around here where they've gone a little bit too wide at the entrance of turn 11 and gone themselves a warning. Ooh, Frey, a lot of guys now, you can see they are starting to struggle on these sets of tyres. Again, Frey, another one that was more than likely actually touching cloth, as we like to call it. 2 more laps left to go, and time's running out for the German of Jonathan. He's going to need to put everything he can into closing up to the back of Mr. Anchor, as Frey and V5 have just traded places once again. And V5 has had to concede that place. However, no, he won't even have the DRS. Frey does keep that DRS. So Frey up into P9, and look at Gilzo. Gilzo is now caught up to the back of these two. And especially on fresher tyres, Gilzo could actually nab 2 places here, with V5 having that 3-second time penalty as well. There's always an opportunity for the Irishman to possibly get himself up into 9th or even into P8. And this would be a much better result for both of the Renaults, especially from last week, as O'Hardy has set the fastest lap of the race. Is he maybe going to try and nab that one? And same with WF Gaming, they are all on a set of the soft tyres. However, it's now the final lap of the race, and Jonathan, he's got the DRS on Hardy, but he's still 1.6 seconds behind Mr. Anchor. And I think the Finn, I don't think the German's got anything anything left to play with. I think he's worn out his tyres. You can see the ERS down the bottom. Same with Mr. Anchor, to be fair, but he's already made up that margin ahead of him, so I don't think there's anything he can particularly do. Gilzo, he's going to have the DRS on V5. V5 will have the DRS on Frey, but Gilzo, this is his last opportunity. He is gaining on him. They both run out of ERS. However, is Gilzo going to try and look for an opportunistic move? He may try and go around the outside. No, he doesn't. He tries to get a bit of a better exit out of turn 1, and it looks as if he has done that as Freeze picks himself up with 3 seconds time on it. Now this is the opportunity for Gilzo, as Gilzo goes around the outside of V5 in towards turn 3, now up towards turn 4. There are yellow flags. It is Vallejo. And a little bit of contact between him and V5. V5, oh, very close, very, very close. I think V5 may have had a little bit of other steer, or Gilzo may have not left just enough room. I couldn't quite see that properly, but with Vallejo, he was running so well. He's now behind his teammate a bag of bones. So, Bree and E2 are having the opportunity of a lifetime, as Mr. Anchor has crossed the line and finished and has won the race. Jonathan does finish in P2. Apologies for not catching that. I was just catching some absolute intense action. As I said, Mr. Anchor finishing and taking the win for the second time now in the PC tier. Jonathan taking P2 with Dylan Warren taking P3. Psych might be a little bit disappointed in P4. Dan does come home to finish P5, although Lawmans will jump him, especially with Dan having that penalty. Black Panther does finish in P7. Coop looks like he may finish in P8. And then we're going to have a few that may be jumped down or jumped up, as Frey was very wide at the final corner. There you go, Coop, 8th. Gilzo does finish into P9. Frey, P10. A V5 jumps him. So Frey must have had quite a few penalties. In fact, E2's jumped him. Bree doesn't jump him, however. So Frey, managing only to get that 1 point. Bones does finish in P14. Vallejo does finish in P15. Graham, it looks like he will finish in P16, with Tendu finishing in P17, and Hardy will finish in P18. Does he still have the fastest lap? He does, a 27.7. And I don't think, unless Tendu can get the fastest lap. No, he doesn't. So, Hardy does. I mean, to be fair, he's managed to finish with the fastest lap of the race. But that race start, I don't know what had happened there. And it definitely turned into a more of an exciting race. But there you can see Lawmans is very well deserved. I would probably say it is definitely deserved, him having the driver of the day, especially from 19th all the way up into P5. But this man on here, it's looking like he cannot be stopped. 2 rounds in, he's got the full 50 points. Of course, it's not the 2 fastest laps, but he has got the full big 25 points at both races. Very well done to the fin of Mr. Anchor, and well done to the 2 Red Bulls, especially with Jonathan. Literally, before turn 1, he had his full wing off. So, he's had a very good start, to say the least. But there are your final classifications. As I said, Mr. Anchor taking the win for the PC tier around Bahrain. Jonathan does finish in P2, with Dylan Warren finishing in P3. Psych does come home to finish P4. Lawmans, again, I would definitely say is my driver of the day, finishing in P5. Dan finishing in P6. Unfortunate with him having that penalty, he did finish 5th across the line, but because of that, now into P6. Black Panther does finish in P7. Cube does finish in P8. Gilzo, I must admit, he done a very good recovery drive, managing to finish in P9. V5 picking up P10. E2 in 11th, with Frey in 12th, picking up the final points position. Bree finishing in P13. Bones in 14th, Vallejo in 15th, Graham in 16th, Nintendo in 17th, Hardy in 18th, and WF Gaming running up the final position. All 19 drivers did finish as well, so that is very impressive. And I'm honestly very happy that everyone did manage to finish. You know, it showed that they were dedicated to, you know, finishing the entire race. And again, I am happy that everyone has managed to do that. So everybody that has tuned in, thank you very much for watching. As I said, you can catch Division 2 and Division 5 tomorrow at 8 PM British Standard Time. And you can also catch Division 1, Division 3 and Division 4 tomorrow at 6:40 British Standard Time. I've been Jake, and I will catch you guys next week for the Vietnam Grand Prix. Around Vietnam? Of course it is. I'll catch you guys next week for the Vietnam Grand Prix at 8 PM. Thank you all for watching.